Good morning. Today is 9:20. It is 7:55 a.m. and I don't know if I was stressed or pressured, which may be the more precise term to use last night, but at any rate, I was bothered, to say the least. And it was because of a car accident that I had about 3 weeks ago. I was sitting still like I am right now in traffic, and a car, SUV, was struck by some unknown vehicle which hit me in the rear. My truck was not extremely damaged, but it's in the shop still, and I was urged to go seek medical treatment. Growing up playing football and working through pain, and I was like, and then it was just like, go. So I went, and I went to like 3 different places, and it was like, we don't do accident victims. I'm like, what's the big deal about accident victims? So the next day, so all this is the same day the accident happened, because the accident happened in the morning. By the way, going to help a friend and to jump start his car, and then, after that, leaving from getting him squared away, was able, got into the car accident. The irony of the accident is that the lady who hit me was at the hospital for a relative and decided to go to work afterwards. And the irony was, both of us are going out our way to support others and have the wreck by some unknown vehicle that pretty much got away scot-free, that impacted. And even more so ironic was that the lady whose car was pushed into me was a youth minister. And I said, okay. So I'm like, okay, God. And at the time, I'm not really feeling anything. When I got hit, I felt my upper back and neck get jarred, and nothing on my lower back. So I'm like, okay, I felt like I was okay. So fast back forward, I go to the treatment facility, and I haven't felt anything on my lower back at all. And so they take the x-rays and they focus on my upper back. So I get the first adjustment, and after that, I'm feeling stuff on my lower back like crazy. And it's like, I have to ice and sit down and stretch. I mean, I stretch anyway because I'm physical, and I have 2 great friends and a mom who has some severe back issues, and also an older cousin, like second cousin, who's old enough to, he's like my mom's age. But also, all these people have back problems that totally limit mobility, and I'm usually one of their go-to people when they need help with stuff. But at the same time, taking them to different doctor visits and stuff like that, I've learned a lot about, you better take care of your back because you only get one back. And I, raise my children to squat when lifting anything. I don't care if it's a pencil. You squat down and lift, especially my daughter, because she has a shape and I don't want her bending over for nothing. So daughters, because they have shapes and I don't want them bending over for nothing. I got one grown, so she's not being trained anymore, but the younger one is. So with all that being said, the chiropractor is like, oh my God, you have such a healthy back. All your discs are nicely spaced. And so the x-rays were done on the upper back and treatment is going on and upper back is feeling great. Oh yeah, feeling much better. Oh wow, thank you. Woo-hoo. Yeah. But lower back is becoming more tight and intense in terms of mobility, and I was put on 15 pounds of 15 pound lift weight limit. I can't pick up more than 15 pounds. That's what I'm trying to say. So without trying to be extra technical. And I'm just like, what can I do? I mean, like, really, what can I do? I mean, other than change out some light bulbs, maybe replace some electrical fixtures, maybe do some minor plumbing, and even with that, it's just, you know, trying to move. So I had 3 major jobs I had to cancel, and I had recently just finished up a remodel, so I'm looking at like mortgage due, child support due, not to mention car note. I mean, all this stuff is due. So the insurance company's like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're going to give you, you know, we're gonna make sure your truck is fixed. It's already in the shop. So the same day I reported the accident, within a few days, they had a check cut for me to get my car to the shop. And I will say it was very tempting to go ahead and use that money to live on versus get my truck fixed. But I'm like, let me do the right thing, because I'm not really, at this point, my lower back hasn't given me any indication of that I'm not going to be able to work the way I feel I need to. Reality hadn't sunk in, let me just put it like that. So I'm really taking this serious, and I just say, let me put appropriated funds to appropriated things. So I get a call from the insurance representative who's over the accident claim. She states that you have rent a card, either we'll pay you after you pay for it if you don't want to use one of ours, or you can get a rent a car through one of our folks. I do have another truck. They know I got another truck on the policy. However, this truck is a gas guzzler. And I was just like, Holy Spirit, after I was about to go get a rent a car, the Holy Spirit was like, why? And then you got to transfer all them tools over, which is a lot of lifting and moving around. It's like, just use the other one. It'll be less cumbersome. And it's like, okay, so I squashed that. But I did learn how that process went. So, which I was stating, either they're going to pay for one through their affiliates, or they pay you after the fact with whoever you want to go. And so it's definitely a learning curve, but at the same time, it's just like, hey, deals are due. And on the bright side, and let me not take the God factor out, on the bright side, it was an uninsured motorist claim, which gave me a reduced deductible, as well as gave me medical payment, as well as loss of in work time, but that doesn't come until after after the medical treatment is done. And I'm just like, okay, so I'm thinking like, well, the lady said in a month, things will be back to normal. However, it's going on 3 weeks now, and I'm like, it feels like it's getting worse. And so the last week I started listening to these healing scriptures, because I got a light electrical job, just putting in a couple of fixtures. My son helped me with it, and I had a cousin help me with anything that was lifting over X amount of pounds. So I'm just trying to get that out the way. But at the same time, it's like, God, how am I, this job does not pay nowhere near what I need. I had 2 remodels that got canceled. I had a 1-day job that got canceled, and it was just like, okay, so it's like life is happening. And I'm a breadwinner, so I still got people pulling on me like, bills are due, you got stuff to pay. Oh, and then you tell people in your circle, hey, this is what happened. Oh yeah, but I'm gonna need you to hang this, and oh yeah, can you move this thing right here? And I'm like, did you not hear me? Like, I can't lift over 15 pounds. How in the world I'm gonna move a shelf system, and I can't lift over 15 pounds? So I'm just like sometimes it's like, do people even, you wonder, like, do people even care about you? It's like, if somebody broke their hand, if one of your friends broke their hand, would you ask them to cook something for you? But it's because you can't see see a cast on my back, or see me wearing a weight belt or something like that. It's like, it doesn't register with you. You still, and sometimes you have to charge it to their head and not their heart. But it's difficult when you the person going through. And I had to realize sensitivities that were rising, because I'm looking at this as a life-changing experience, whether mentally, physically, or just a transition to learn that, hey, look, life ain't guaranteed to nobody, and you better appreciate what you got while you got it. Because I'm sitting there just like I'm right here at this light, and somebody, wow, in the back of me, and it's just like, okay, like, I'm minding my own business, trying to do good, and regret wants to come up and feel like you should have never went and go help that person, and I would never been in that place. And I vacillate. To be honest, I vacillated over whether going over there or not. But so that's the emotional state, and that's the trauma that comes after reality sets in, and I'm being as real with it as I can be. And I'm even while I was wiring up a light fixture, and my son's holding it for me, I'm just frustrated because I'm having difficulty, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm fussing at it in the spirit. I'm just like, no, this is what I've been promised. No, I do not accept this. No, I'm a child of the Most High God. No, I do not accept this. And the more I fussed at it, even though in my head, I'm frustrated, but my back was, even though tight, I felt relief. And I'm not lying when I say this, because to me, when I hear people say this, it's like you make some up yourself. I want nothing from it. Yes, I'm gonna put support in there, because that's a spiritual thing. You give people so back. So I give you the opportunity, but I'm not begging people. This is the only time I'm saying this. I'm not begging people to do anything for me. And I went through the frustration, and I start listening to healing scriptures, and the more I listened to it, the more ease came on me, and the more I bombarded myself with not being able to think about, wow, sorry, just saw a car spun out of control in the mud. Anyway, no, I'm not going to help. So, in which the old me would, the old me would get out in weather like this, because I keep a tow chain in the back, throw that tow chain down, hook it up under the car, and pull them out of the ditch. But right now, it's self-care. I can't do that anymore. I mean, anyway, so I just back to the point, I'm listening to these healing scriptures, and I'm just like, okay, I have to work on this. I have to focus on what God said, because the enemy is really, coming with sledgehammers and crowbars, trying to pull me into a negative energy. And like I said, last night was a real coming to the head, especially after a friend asked me to use my truck to go grab a shelf and move it for him. And I was just like, the first thing I heard was, you're not the man you used to be. You're changing. And it's just like, will I ever be the person I was? And so I had my daughter read while I drop her off at school, and this morning she was reading about the enemies, Psalms 3, I believe she said, and it was about the enemies coming after David, and David, hearing all these voices, oh, we gonna get you, and it was like God shut their mouths and pretty much delivered them from the enemies. And I took that as, okay, I need to shut up. And I know better. But when you're going through, And if you on a different maturity level in the spirit than me, God bless you. But I'm here to encourage those who are going through. And right after that, let me follow back. So